Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cams rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to Hank's Think Tank. I got David Mullane on my left.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Good to see you, David.
Good being here.
We're going to have a good show today. I got Ronnie Bubba Tullos in. He is a candidate for the Texas House of Representatives, District 18. The primary is May 1st, 2022, and early voting starts when, David?
Valentine's Day.
That's right, on Valentine's Day. Before we begin, though, I've got a little bit of sad news that I got to cover, and it is with sadness that I would like to mention that my co-host, Mark Hogan, his father passed away last night. And we're all going to miss him. He was a good guy. And Mark, I just want you to know that everybody at Studio 13 is on your side. We're all here for you. And together we'll make it through this thing. So much for that. Our sponsor, FD Tactics, I'd like to say hello to. They can be reached at www.fdtactics.com. And if you need uniforms, embroidery, printing, or anything else, that's the place to go. All right, let's go. Welcome, Mr. Tullos. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Hank.
How's the campaign going?
It's going real good as of right now. I mean, I have no issues.
Great.
You know, I enjoy it. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I pretty much prepared for this for like 30 years.
Fantastic.
I put my name out there, and so we're good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, before we get started with the questions and stuff, why don't you just tell a little bit about yourself, maybe some background and
okay.
You know, where you're from, stuff like that, all that kind of good stuff.
I spent the majority of my life in Splendora.
Okay.
I'm a family man. You know, I raised my kids when I was a single dad for most of all their lives. So ever since I had my kids, I got married a few years ago to my wife, Shondi, and, you know, she has a kid, so it's raising another one, which I don't mind. Love kids. I'm a Freemason. I'm a Shriner for the Shriners Hospital. I enjoy spending my time with the Shriners, definitely. It's something that I've always looked forward to doing. I've been with Empire Steel for 36, 37 years.
Okay.
I'm a field superintendent. I'm a deputy sheriff. And I'm also for the Texas Guard. I'm a sergeant, Texas Guard.
Okay.
Active. And I spend my time with my kids when I can. We go enjoy, do things, and help the community out. And just things like that. Charities, whatever we got to do, always whatever comes to my mind to help people out. That's what I always done, and that's what I always will do.
Great. Yeah, I do know that you and your wife are involved in the community a lot, and I see a lot of your posts on Facebook about good things that you do in the community. So, as one of the community members, I want to thank you for that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good thing. We appreciate it. All right, I'm going to get started. I'm going to jump right into the questions here. What would you consider to be your greatest accomplishment so far in life? In life.
My kids.
Okay.
My family, definitely. The way they turned out, I think if you ask me, I think I did a good job. I have no problems with them. They always come to me if they ever need anything. When I got married, that was another good accomplishment. The things I do for the community helps is what I enjoy. So my accomplishment is watching other people get what they need, and if I can do anything, it's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about redistricting, because redistricting it's kind of a thing that's happened without a whole lot of people knowing what's going on. So your district has changed a little bit. Can you explain how redistricting has changed your area of representation?
It has, because when I started to run, I was District 16, and
Right.
I knew what I was going for. When they redistrict, it threw me into another realm of area which I know anyway, but it gave me more of an opportunity to get out to more people, which that's what it's doing now. I would be representing 4 counties,
Okay.
and to reach out to more people to give them an ear,
Okay.
to help whoever else needs, just not in one, but it helps me out further to to show what I can do to the people that don't know me.
Okay.
Redistricting actually was a good thing because it gave me more people.
So you saw it as an opportunity.
I sure did.
Okay, fantastic. David, what you got?
Well, how do you feel about rural broadband in the area? You know, everybody's working from home with Corona.
Uh-huh.
And so it's important for people, not only, you know, businesses and also for, you know, like individuals working from home. So what's your thoughts on that, maybe expanding it, and just give me some ideas and thoughts you have on that.
Broadband education is key. When schools shut down, a lot of parents don't have internet. They couldn't afford it. They were sent home a computer, a laptop, or whatever they're calling it, for the kids to study with, to work from home. But a lot of them didn't have broadband or internet or any kind of service, and it was a big deal. So in a lot of areas, it doesn't reach. So I think it's very important if we can spread broadband out to reach everybody in the community. It's not only good for people that work at a house, but it's also good for the students, the kids, to give them where they're not losing much education in case of another pandemic or any situation like that.
Or whatever may come up.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You're hitting on me a lot today,
I'm
huh?
hitting you
Okay.
right on.
I know security and law enforcement has always been a high priority in your lifetime. I mean, you've always been in that field. That's where I've originally met you. So let me ask you, what's your thoughts on border security?
And border security is a really complicated issue.
It is.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
You want to secure the border, it's never 100%. You can't 100% anything. You can do your best. I believe you need to secure the border, not only because of the intimate danger that comes across the border, the drugs and so on. Don't get me wrong. If I was over there in a third world country, I would want better for my family. Who wouldn't, right? So I would try to cross into a better country that offers more. That's why a lot of them do cross the border. But unfortunately, you got resources, you got the cartel, you got other countries that cross the border also. So you don't know the security issue that you have when they cross the border. Unfortunately, everybody has to be screened. You have a proper protocol to go to get in this country. And I believe it still needs to be established. But you can't get a lot of people to understand that, because all they want to do is just come over immediately to get over here, and they walk in and they got what the American dream, correct? Right. So it has to be regulated. You can't overpopulate an area. It's just, if you do, the economy starts going bad. You got places you have homeless, and it's just not good. Right. So in securing the border, the walls are a good idea, for one, but you're not going to secure the borders in all the other states. You can only do what you can in the state of Texas. It's up to the other states to maintain their own security, correct? And if they don't get in through the state of Texas, they'll go in another direction.
Right.
But we're just trying not to add to it. We're just trying to secure what we can and stop what we can to get over here. Once we stop them, regardless if they go back or not, at least we're making an effort. So.
Okay. All right, great. So I know you're familiar with critical race theory, but I wanted to take that a little bit farther.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't believe in critical race theory. I don't think it's a good idea.
No.
But I do believe in truth in education. And so there's a fine line that separates those two. So what do you think about, what are your thoughts basically on critical race theory and truth in education?
I think, in my opinion, the kids got enough to worry about in school than to add to it, than to add more problems in school. They already have issues in school now, right? And the teachers already got problems of that. Then the teaching, most states ban critical race theory. You know that in their schools and all, because they don't want to keep adding to a problem that's already there. It's just an issue that I think, in my opinion, it needs to be a dead issue. Everybody has a theory. Everybody has an opinion. And they want to take it a step further and try to push that a direction that they may think is right. In their mind, they may think it's right. That's cool. Everybody may do. But you can't just keep adding, compounding to a situation that don't need nothing but just to get with the kids and to try to smooth over and soften whatever conditions that's already in the school. That's going to be up to the school board and the school administration and so on and so forth, because if you notice, most of them are the ones that dictate what happens into the school district, correct? I mean, the state may say one thing, but then the school says, well, we don't want that here. It's going to say so. I think it just needs to be, and most of them see that. That's why it's being banded anyway. I just don't think it needs to be a dead issue and stop adding to the kids' problems that they already got going to school in the first place.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
All right. What you got?
You know, one of the biggest problems we have not only in Texas but in this area, and it may be because of the population, people are relocating here from other states. Property taxes.
Property taxes.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a good one, because I love that one.
Yeah, that's everybody. That affects everybody.
You can't eliminate the revenue off of property taxes.
Sure.
Once it's established, it's already being used somewhere else.
Right.
Even if you eliminated property taxes or you reduce property taxes, just good. But you got to redirect it to somewheres. Don't blame the appraisal district. Okay? That's just, if you was going to sell your house, you want your house appraised high, because the majority of the people that look to buy a house look at the appraisal of the house, correct?
Yes.
But when they raise the appraisal price of your house, your taxes go up, correct?
Yeah,
so what the whole issue is, what we need to do, if your property value is appraised this high, that's great. Don't raise the taxes, but we need to eliminate, which would be super, if not reduce property taxes. But we're going to have to redirect them. We have to put it somewhere else where it's still there, where it's not going to be raised wherever it's sent. Okay, but it's something that everybody's, because I can't see a person that worked all his life, paid off his home, and never owned his home. That's crazy, right?
You're right.
This old couple are going to lose their house because they can't afford the taxes, because their Social Security ain't enough to afford to eat, pay taxes, and medical bill. That's wrong. So instead of looking at name pointing, finger pointing, let's just say, hey, the revenue's already established. Let's just do something about it. We're not going to take it away like the lottery. You're not going to take the lottery money away. Once it was established, it's like losing billions of dollars a year. That ain't never going to happen. Okay? But it's up to you if you want to play or not. You can't win if you don't play.
Right, that's true.
So in my opinion, not one person needs to make a haste decision. It needs to be thought about, weighed out, and all options put on the table before anything is made, is written. Correct? So on property taxes, I agree. If we can reduce them, which I'm all for, because when I put my foot in that door, it ain't getting closed. If I hit that door and they put me in office, you got me for 2 years. That'd be the best thing I believe would ever happen. Because I'm not a politician, and that ain't never going to happen. But I am for the people. And that's what I'm all about, is the people. So if we can reduce it, we'll do everything in my possible in 2 years to reduce it or eliminate it. But it will be redirected, and people won't lose their homes. Okay? They may lose it on not paying a mortgage.
Right.
But they're not going to lose it on not paying their taxes. Because that's just not right. That means you'll never own it. It's not a federal deal. It's a state deal. So that's my thoughts.
Well, let me ask you another question.
Is that off my cue card?
No,
hold on, David. I'm just playing.
This one's on the cuff here. Defunding the police. Now, I know it's not a big issue here in Texas, but tell me what your thoughts are about your brothers and sisters in other states. What's your feelings on that, and how it's come to kind of, in our opinion, kind of backfired?
Backfired on what?
Defunding the police.
Oh, defunding the police. Oh,
the police.
Yeah, the police.
The police.
Because
yes.
you know I am a police officer.
Yes, that's why I ask. I mean, it's not really happening so much here, but
That's-
what's your thoughts on what your brothers and sisters are facing up north and other states?
That's
cities?
when a lot of them are quitting. They're walking away from it where they are. That's going to be the city administration, the mayor, so on and so forth, and the boards, whatever, the council, whatever made that decision is wrong. And then when it does backfire and they realize, oh, we screwed up, but they're not looking at, if you don't have the police, you have chaos. Okay? Law is put in a position to what? To maintain order.
Right.
Is what it's for. When you start defunding the police, you're not going to have the police officers there on hand. So even if you didn't like the police, who are you going to call when you need something? you're going to call the police. Well, if they're no longer there, then you have an issue. I feel sorry for them. I wish I could help them. Only thing we can do to help another state or another city is meet with them and see if we can't resolve a resolution through the situation, and maybe they're not looking at it. Now, they're trying to please a small amount of the population is all they're trying to do. A grain of salt because they don't want to hear them hollering. And what's that old saying? Squeaky wheel gets grease or it gets replaced. So you cannot bow down to a few people because they got their feelings hurt or they have an issue. Granted, you always get the good with the bad and the bad with the good. That's by none. Being a Mason, you get the same. Any organization, anything you're in, fire department, police department, EMS, the city, state, or whatever, you always get the bad intertwined with the good, correct? And so that's what people judge police officers by. Maybe by the wrong decision that is made, by their chief, by their captain, or whatever, or maybe by the police officer at hand. But you can't judge the whole force. And don't defund the whole force because of one decision that is made by somebody that ain't got the job no more, because if it ever happened, they ain't going to have a job no more, right?
Well, it doesn't seem to really be working out where it's been tried, that's for sure. Like I said, the problem's really not here in Texas. But
it's not. It's in other states, and I hate to see that. And that's why a majority of the states, if you notice, are moving down towards Texas. We got a lot of people from California. I've seen places from Florida, California, all over the place. A lot of people from California. If it's not working in where they're at, they're trying to get away from where they're at. And I got friends in California. I got a buddy of mine. He's a TV reality producer in California, and he's always wanted to do something with us for years on end. And then Hank mentioned the same thing a while back of doing a reality show. I think it'd be a little crazy because we ain't got to stage nothing in my life. It's already there. So and I don't blame them. It's like moving from another country trying to get a better life and understanding, and they want to come to the United States. It's the same thing when you're in another state. They just want to get away from the state that's not understanding the people, and they listen to, if you got 10 million people, they're listening to 100 of them people, and they don't care about the rest of them. Okay, they're just trying to appease. Just shut up, here you go. Not with me. We don't play that. I ain't going to buy nobody crying and whining unless it's the majority of it, but I would definitely make sure any decision that is made for the people. Not for myself, but for the majority of the people.
Okay. Great. We're going to shift gears a little bit.
Oh, no. Let's stay in first gear.
No, this is like a third gear question here. So this is a long question, and it's complicated.
Okay.
But the meat of it is really at the bottom. Okay. And the rest of it's just kind of an explanation.
All right.
And this is regarding SB8, the Texas Heartbreak Act. So how do you feel about this type of private citizen enforcement legislation and its attempt to be adopted by other states, whereas civil lawsuits are being used to enforce legislation? And to give you an example, back in 2021, California legislators introduced a new gun law enabling civil actions to be brought against manufacturers and dealers. So the question is, should private citizens become an enforcement avenue to varying types of legislation?
Should they be? I don't think they need. I don't think that various individuals need to make a decision on their own like that. It's just like having a. It's just like having a militia make a decision for everybody else. A lot of times what happens is when people have thoughts and they want action taken because they don't agree with something, they carry it to a higher power and they force them to make a decision for them. So they throw enough grease on the fire just to keep it going, just to push it their way. And it's like I said at the beginning of this, sometimes when you're hasty on any decision, you wish it hadn't been done. Some people are just got tunnel vision and they just see directly in front of them. They don't see around them. I don't believe in that. I believe you need to see the whole picture, not just partial of the picture. See, everything's going around. I understand there's issues, and I understand that people want changes, and I understand that they want changes now, and they want it done their way. And I understand that you want to carry it to somebody that can push it your way and to make things happen. But before you do, a lot of decisions that are made has nothing to reflect on them, right? If you notice, they don't. They just don't like what somebody else is doing or decision that are made. Okay, like the heartbeat. I believe if you're going to have forever, if you don't have it, then what's forever for? So if you make a decision on anything that you think is right, do we have the right to tell you what to do? Because I don't like it. I don't like what you did, David. So you know what? If you ain't going to do it my way, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to force it your way, my way. And then I'm going to make you do it my way, right? Now, what happens if it was turned on them and something was forced on them and they didn't like it either, right? It wouldn't, they don't, when it's reversed, it don't really work out. They don't think about it like that. Everything has got to be looked at. You can't have a bunch of individual Annies running around wanting to do things their way without organization, without forethought, without looking at the situation at hand and say, wait a minute, I know I'm saying it this way. Let's just go ahead and take it to the table and get everybody's opinion. Maybe I'm not looking at it right before we make a hasty decision and try to force something on somebody else. I can't tell you what to do. I can look at it and say, Hank, I don't believe you should do it like this. And I know it's got to do with you, and I know your car is over here and it's in my way, but if you don't move it, I'm going to have an issue. It's just, I'm just trying to use some kind of terminology. It's just, that one just threw it out. But good. Do you understand what I'm talking about on that? It's like the handgun laws. When you start putting lawsuits, you start putting liability on somebody that has nothing to do with somebody else's carelessness, right? Mm-hmm. When the gun manufacturer decided, when they decided, hey, you can put a lawsuit on a gun manufacturer because he made the gun. Well, he didn't shoot it. He didn't have nothing to do with it. He sold it. He made a profit. The person that may not even have a criminal background could snap at any time. Whether it's a gun, knife, a car, or whatever, that is just a weapon, a choice that is used. As you know, I teach handgun classes, okay, self-defense, handgun classes, LTC classes for the past 16, 17 years. I believe a person should be self-protected, period. There should not be a liability on them protecting themselves, period. You should not carry that to the gun manufacturer and say, I'm going to sue you because of this. That's just like saying he used a knife to protect himself and stab somebody, now I'm going to sue the knife manufacturer because he made a knife, right?
Okay.
So anyway, that's my opinion.
All right. Are you still got any or?
No, I'm going to go ahead.
Okay. All right. What would you change in your first term? So as far as what you've seen in the office so far and in the district, is there anything that you would change that you think needs to be first run deal? Something that needs to be changed right away.
Right away. I want to know what the people are really in need for. I want to get everybody's opinion so I know what to work on right off the bat. I understand because I'm at everybody's level. I'm not above nobody. I won't never say I'm above nobody. I'm not a politician. I ain't going to pretend that I'm better than anybody else. That's what I'm not here for. I'm here for the people. So I want to hear, and I've always been like that. I want to know. I don't turn a deaf ear. That will never happen with me. Okay, if I answer the phone before I was elected, I'll answer the phone after I'm elected. That's just the way I'm always in. I want to hear what's wrong with the situation, and we're going to take care of it. Whether if we pass the bill or get or whatever we got to do to take it to the legislature, whatever it is what I'm trying to get at, is to make sure that whatever's your concern is really a concern of yours. I may not really understand it because it's not my concern, but it is yours. So let's just take care of that. So I want to know right off the bat, when I get elected, you know, so I said when.
Right.
I didn't say if because I ain't going in there with this if attitude. But when I'm elected, I want to know right offhand what we're going to do, and we're going to change it. Because like I said, once my foot in the door, it's done. I hit the door running. And when I run inside that door, that's it. I ain't stopping. I want to make sure it's taken care of. If David Mullane, if Hank Vatt, if y'all have an issue, y'all could have different issues. Let me hear it. Because whatever it is, we're going to resolve it right off the bat when we get in there. If there's a land issue, let me hear it. We're going to take care of it. One thing I could say about me, I don't have to be bought. I don't need nobody's money. I ain't no sellout by no means. That won't ever happen. They said, well, what if somebody offered you a lot of money? You know how many times I was offered that? They said, once you come inside and you get elected, you're going to change. I said, why? If I need money, I can make a phone call. That's no problem. I mean, shoot. If I call David, I'm pretty sure he'd be able to help me out. Hank, I know people with millions of dollars. If I needed money to start a business or whatever I need, I don't have to be bought. I can just borrow it or say, hey, you want to be my partner? We can take care of this. Why does anybody have to be bought? Because money is not evil. The greed of money is what's bad. When it starts taking over the person. Money is a good trademark, right? You need that. I mean, I can't build you these to trade you for your services. But money can, because then you can go buy these, or I can buy your services, right? So that's what I'm just putting out there anyway.
Okay. All right. So how can the average voter find more information about Ronnie Tullos?
How can they get it?
Yep.
Well, if
you got a website?
We got a Facebook page. You either got Bubba Tullos or Bubba and Shondi.
Okay.
You got Texas Gunslingers, LTC. You have my political page, which is what is it? I can't remember what it is. That's a good question, but you can Google it. All I say, but we do have. I'm sorry, it's a Facebook web page.
Okay.
Okay. But if you got any concerns, you want to know more about me, I ain't hard to get a hold of.
And do you know if you have a profile on Ballotpedia for this particular campaign?
You know, that's a good question.
I believe you might.
I think I do.
I think I looked it up. I think you did.
Oh, shoot. Guess this trip what fell in my hand. Ha! Amazing. Ronnie Bubba for Texas.
Okay.
Ronnie Bubba Tullos for Texas, I believe.
Ronnie Bubba Tullos for Texas.
Yes. Okay. And
Great.
You know what makes me different than anybody else? I believe, and most people that I'm not talking about individuals, I'm talking about politically. Is because I'm straight up and I'm true who I am. I established myself years ago, and unless you can find something bad that I've done, only thing I've done, I believe, was to try to help somebody, or if I couldn't make it to where I'm at, there's a reason. But if you call me, if I can't get it done, I'll see if I can't make it happen to get it done.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fantastic. Now, I know you're hosting a Meet the Candidate also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when's that going to be, and where is it going to be?
That's going to be at the Civic Center in Splendora, Texas. The first one on the 24th of this month.
Okay.
24th
of this month. What time?
Bring your checkbook. I want a big checkbook. Maybe we want a big check.
And what time will that be?
2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. And do you have any other debates or forums that you're going to be attending anytime soon?
Yes, we got some. My campaign manager's got probably a slew of them.
Okay.
That she's getting organized, and usually when she gets it all ready, she gets with me, and then we see how everything's going, and all that good stuff. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming out.
Shoot, yeah.
Mr. Tullos, and it's been interesting.
Oh, anytime.
And look forward to it. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. And this concludes the interviews for all the candidates for District 18 for the Texas House of Representatives. So you can check out every one of these candidates on this podcast, make your decision, and go ahead and vote. Early voting starts when, David?
That'd be Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
so
Day.
Miss that.
David's an expert on early voting.
I do eat candy and flowers.
There you go. And so check it out. Look up Ronnie Bubba Tullos and get some more information on this guy. Call him up. Ask him what questions you have. And, press him to the deal, man. Find out if he's the guy. If he is, then cast your vote and make it happen. Well, once again, thanks for watching. For David Mullane, I'm Hank Vatt. This is Hank's Think Tank, and we're out.